Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Well, wasn't that a spike and a half? It's going to be quite hard to trade there. We're going to have to, as we extend that, this is going to be down here out of the way. So, how you doing, what? Kev, how you doing, buddy? So, yeah, big old spike. So I'm assuming the CPI data was encouraging. Just out of curiosity, have you noticed we were here at the time? Really positive news, but it spiked in the opposite direction first. Weird, isn't it? And that went down literally about 10 points in the opposite direction. So it didn't really matter if you were in a long trade or a short trade here. You'd have been taken out either way. You know, sometimes you just think the news, if it's positive, it's going to go in the one direction, but it's just shot down and then shot up, which is odd sometimes. I don't quite know why it does that, but anyway, let's have a look. Like I've been trying to sort of put a some form of a what's it to this. Let's have a look at that. Clearly going a bit sideways. I'm going to break out the bottom, break out the top. There's a bearish bar which is triggered. If we break above that, it might go up. Trouble is, it's fair old risk. It's 3.5 points. Must be how those gone. Yeah, because I know a couple of guys do evaluations, don't they? They put one. They have two evaluations. They do a short and a long at the news. But under the circumstances there, it doesn't matter whether you went short or long. I think both your evaluations got took out a split second. Mind you, it depends. If you'd have gone along there, it would have worked. So the trouble is, it depends whether it hit you or not. I don't know. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I'd say we're probably pretty much going to make a new high from this. If it breaks above there, it's probably going to go. But it's a big old bar, that's my slight concern. If I look on the 10,000 tick chart, it almost looks like a bull flag pushed up, and a couple of attempts and another push up. So I'd say it's probably going to go up. But you just never know. I'm not 100% sure about this, how this is formed. See, some cases we have news like that and we more or less recover it all. And other times it just continues on, and we've had a couple legs back, gone a bit sideways, and we seem to be working up there. Now, you may consider this an overshoot, but I'm not sure about it. But it's going a bit sideways. We've got, okay, the open's in just under 2 minutes, so it could do either or here. By the look of things, it's probably going to go up, I would say, as an educated guess. It'd be nice to see that trigger, then there'll be two shorts triggered then. But I'm not getting involved here at the moment because market's just about to open. So I'm just going to have to keep an eye on this. That's the question now. How much this is going to give up? Or are we just going to go high? Yeah. See, you know, we certainly could go higher. If you look on the daily, I know Mac mentioned yesterday we could go higher. I mean, obviously we've had that big spike this morning. But if I quickly get the daily out, let me just mark it up again. So yeah, just bring the daily in quickly. We had that overshoot, didn't we? It pushed up, went short there, trapped some shorts and pushed up a little bit sideways and another good strong push up. So it's hard to say. It almost looks like a push up, a little bit of sideways and a push up. So we could pull back a bit. It's hard to say really, isn't it? But we certainly could go up higher. But who knows? The only thing I was sure about is when that, or pretty sure about when that bear bar triggered, that it was going to get stopped out. I thought that was highly likely. Okay, market opens in about 20 seconds, so let's see whether we continue on up. It'd be nice to see that short trigger. Okay, so there's two shorts there. So if it does break above this, I think it'll do it in a hurry. My only slight concern is it's building up a little bit sideways. Part of me wants to put an order above there. Because there's going to be a couple of shorts in that trade. If it breaks above there, I can absolutely see it going up. leg up, sideways leg up. Okay, quite glad I didn't. Oh, okay. It depends when that broke above there. If I'd have put an order above there, my thing is 3 points. So that would have taken me out instantly. So I'm kind of glad, because sometimes, isn't that weird? It's done what I expected it to do, but not before it came down. Would have took me stop out for a tick. So I'm quite glad I left that. I left it because it started going a bit sideways, but I did expect to have another leg. I just didn't expect that when it ticked above there to shoot straight back down. Interesting. So clearly sideways, so just a bit risky. It's still bouncing around a little bit. So I have a feeling we are going to continue up for another leg. It's really starting to look like it, isn't it? So just have to keep an eye on it. Let's put that there. Yeah, hey Brick, how you doing, bud? So let me have a look at this. So we've pushed up there. We've had a couple of legs back. We've pushed up again. One leg, maybe 2 legs back. It's hard to say at the moment, but if we do get a decent move up, it'd be nice to try and get in on it. So, yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. Let's have a look here. That to me is a little channel, so I like that. Leg. Let's see what's going on here. Just going to get an order submitted because there is sort of like I had a feeling that was going to do that. So get a high or low. Oh, what a bummer. It looked like 2 nice legs after this. 2 nice legs down to the EMA. It moves that quick though. Oh well. That's a shame. That would have worked nice, that. CPI. Yeah. It's all over and done with now anyway. It was done with an hour ago. Order cancelled. But yeah, a couple of legs back. It still looks bullish to me. Well, there you go, look. Maybe some stops there, maybe something around here. So, push up, break new high. It's still bouncing around. So that's a possibility of a channel like that. I'm just going to kill that colour a minute. Wow, it's really bouncing around still, isn't it? So that one worked nice, but then depending on whether you were holding it for another leg up, it came down quick. So let me just have a look at this, see if that'll fit. Yeah, it's still bouncing around. I think that's just a lot to do with traders getting in positions for the days, I think, isn't it? Let's see what happens here. I'm not 100% sure about that. So I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it. Okay, so maybe... Oh, it didn't trigger. Still bullish to me at the moment. Push up, pull back, push up, pull back. But when it's playing out or pushing up, it's dropping quick. So it's not something you want to be holding on, really. You want to sort of get your points and get out, I think. Yeah, I think you're right, What? I think we're the highest we've been for quite a while, I think. The highest we've been since middle of September, October, November, December. No. Yeah, we're coming up to the highs. Where are we? Yeah, since September. So yeah, it's been about 5 weeks since we've been up this high. Oh shit! Sorry about that. Get back out of the way. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, leg up. One attempt to go lower. Second attempt to go lower. It's bounced off that line again. Interesting. Maybe trap some shorts there. Let's have a look. My slight concern is we've gone up there, but we haven't gone up as far this time. So you could get stung here. I'd say that's not a bad candle. It's bouncing off there. My only slight concern is, have a look. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's a bad trade. I'm just staying out just at the minute because it is bouncing around like mad. It's not a bad place to take a trade, I don't think. My slight concern is we've come over here, we've come back. But what I will say, this is like a penguin trade. So we've pushed up, made one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower. I think if I'm going to take a trade at some point here, I'm just going to get out pretty quick, in and out. I'm not holding, although it's starting to look bullish. But I think the trick is to get in and out because it's moving quick. It can trap you, give you a couple of points, and whip back quickly. Very small bar there. Let's see if that triggers. So we've had a leg up, we've had a break, we've had one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I'm probably going to finish early today as well. Got a family member popping around to visit around about 4:15, which is about an hour and a half's time, so I'm probably going to cut it short. So yeah, we still seem to be. Well, I like the way we're working across there. I put that there, excuse me, marked it there, and it's clearly respected that. So that's a good sign. Anybody else got their channel like that? Or any different? I can genuinely see us having another strong push up right above all this, in all fairness. Night floor, you have it as well. Yeah, I just didn't know whether it might be slightly of a less angle, maybe touch, and maybe sort of, you know, a spike and channel. Because obviously these highs are sort of, but yeah, it's hard to say really, isn't it? We had this pushback and we've really started from here, haven't we? And it does work. Just because it hasn't got high here doesn't necessarily mean much, I don't think. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd taken that now. We got a leg up there, channel up there, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, reacted off that line, big strong push up. I think that was a good trade actually. I think why I left it's quite volatile, market's bouncing around a bit, so you just don't know sometimes. Sometimes it might tick and then just drop it. Trouble is, when you see it do that, you can't help but, we know what happens, so... but the way we had this leg up, couple of pushes back, leg up, couple of pushes back. I'm glad it's getting up here anyway. That's sort of. I'm pleased about that. Possibly. Yeah, I'm glad it's getting a bit higher. It's be nice to get up here actually, at least sort of cement this top line a bit. I mean, we've touched twice, so I think that's sort of how these tend to work. You get a big push up, pull back, and then it starts from here. So I think it's fair to say that that's probably the starting point. And when you zoom out a bit like this, it looks okay, I think, doesn't it? It'd be nice to get a little bit higher, but I think the fact that we are still moving up is good. So I think this is good news. I'm definitely looking for longs. Not up here, too far up in my opinion. They've got to come at least back a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to be going along into the highs really off that. We might get a bit higher here. Leg. Be nice to get closer to this top. Let's put that there. So we got a leg there. Okay, so we're probably going to be at the top about now. I like that. It's got close enough to me. Trouble is, once it gets up there, after seeing these, it's where you want to be getting out, really, I suppose. So I can probably come down a little bit more. Something like that. So yeah, we're about to tick off it. I'll be surprised if that doesn't tick above it. May just come down once it gets close. See, if I was in that trade, I want to be getting out quickly here. just in case it decides. Okay, hit that measured move nicely. Excuse me. Okay, good. That's a good sign. We've got nice and high, hit that measured move, no problem. So we need to get a break now. So that's looking even better actually. So I'm happy there. We've got, it's pretty much starts there. We've got a touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there. We're a few ticks off here. I've got no issues with it not getting right up. As long as it got up higher than the last one. Sometimes when we get 2E and then we get 1E and then the next one gets further back and then we're ready for a break then. But I like the fact that we've had a good, couple of good legs up there, nice and strong. So even at the middle line here, still another good strong push. So I'm definitely happy. This is quite a nice bullish market. This so I mean, in all fairness, if I look back on this is the daily. We could certainly break all-time highs there. Well, I say all-time highs, yeah, all-time highs actually. So we're here now, and that's got to go up, 181 points, which you could do over a couple of days maybe. We've got a, sorry, I'm talking about the chart above me. You guys can't, sorry. Let me just look at this. Yeah, we haven't been up here. We're moving into sort of all-time highs territory here. Tell a lie. Where does that go back to? December 23. No, tell a lie. We've been up here before, but not for a long time. All-time highs for it. Yeah, so I mean, really, we've got a leg up there. That could certainly get us a chunk of the way up. I don't know how long it could take us, but there's a possibility to get very close. I know cryptos seem to be doing well. You just don't know. We could get a leg and a leg, or after this, we had a break, a couple of attempts to go higher, 1-2 legs down, bit of an overshoot, strong push up. So I'd certainly expect over the next day or two, maybe before the end of the week, to get up to around here. And if it does, obviously, as we know, overshoots can result in reversal. So whether it does or not, but it's certainly got potential. That's for sure. Okay, so I like that. It's getting nice and closer there. No loss of momentum there, so that's good. That definitely a bull flag, that. And as we know, sometimes bull flags can do that. Get right up here. So that would possibly take us up to, where's that? That's about 37. Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, this is all pie in the sky, really. JW, how you doing? These insane moves on indices is crazy. We've obviously had some good news. I don't know what the news is. Well, I know what it is, but I'm assuming it was nice and. Let's have a look. Nice and positive. So, I mean, they had that bar. I mean, that was a 20 odd point bar. I mean, about 5 months ago, we had a 55 point bar. So, a 55 point bar would have been one bar in that whole move, but 55 points isn't huge, really, is it? But it was obviously positive. So, I know, I suppose the economy's sounding good. I love the fact that that's pushed up there and broken below. That's really nice. That's cemented that top line. 3 touches on the top line, 3 touches on the bottom line. That's good news now. Excuse me. So things are starting to sound a bit more positive in the economy, aren't they? I think the US, I think Powell said there's going to be no more rate hikes. And I'm, assuming over the next sort of quarter or two, maybe look at sort of coming back a little bit. So it's sounding more positive. The economy's sounding more positive. So, yeah. So I mean, this is react to it. Crypto's reacting, okay at the moment. So I don't know. I'm not, sort of mad into politics. or economics rather. But things are sounding positive, so that's good news. So that's looking nice now. I don't want to be going long up there. I'm assuming that's going to be a leg and a leg down. I don't mind going long off the midline, although I much prefer to get down here. So we've had a channel, we've had a break. See, there is a higher low there, but I think that's a bit risky personally. We've just come off these highs. Now, I know there is a bigger channel there, but obviously there's a small one there as well, and obviously these small ones play a part, but it's too far from the EMA for my liking. If I'm going to go long off there, it needs to at least be a good positional trade. But I just, for some reason, I like getting back here. It's sort of like my safety zone, but the trouble is when it gets back here, sometimes it then ends up breaking then. But let's see, I think that there is a second entry long there, but I'm just not a fan of that. It might work, looks like it will, but I'm just not a fan of it. It's risky, I think. It's too far from the EMA. Just come off these highs, so we could have a leg, trap some longs and have a leg down to here, but depends if the market's strong. Sometimes it just doesn't make a difference. Okay, so we'll go in there. There's 2 points. I don't think that'll have a problem. Okay, yeah, clearly went for 2 points. I'm just not a fan. It's above the midline. It's above the EMA. If I'm going to do those, I like that body sat on there. Wow, look at that. It came down there and did it take that stop out? I don't think it did it? No, it didn't, but we hit that top line again and wham. That's why I don't like taking them so close to these tops. You just never know. Took that in my eval, finally passed. Good on you, mate. Would I have taken that in an eval? Yeah, absolutely. I would have done. I just, you know, when you go PA, I think you just step up to that next level a little bit where you get that little bit more strict. Well, how many points did it get to? So it got to 3 points. Would it have clicked my 3? I'm not sure, but I don't like the fact that it turned quick. But good on you, mate. I like the fact that it's retested this top line. Made a new high after this. Dre, probably as well. Only just 2 points there. Good on you, mate. Nothing wrong with 2 points. That's my daily target. If I can get 2 points every day, I'm chuffed to bits. Had hundreds of losses. 100 losses yesterday on my PA, so I decided to try pass the evaluation first on the to boost my confidence. Yeah. It does take time. It does take time. Oh, $100. What did I say? I thought you said 100 losses. I'm going to say you must have been. There must have been micros. No, I do find I get to. I'm in a better place now. I do feel like I'm more familiar with the market now. I feel like I can look at a trade and go, yes, I like it, or no, I don't. Because obviously trade is not about finding good trades. It's about staying out of bad ones just as much. In fact, probably more, because you tend to lose a bit more on your losses. And your losses obviously has that sort of psychological impact. So, I mean, there's definitely a channel there. We got a break. There is a higher low there. My slight issue with that is we've just come off the highs. And we could have a leg down, maybe trap some longs and have a leg down again. So I'm just a bit wary of this. There's clearly a bigger channel there, no argument. So sometimes they just work. If it's a bullish market, sometimes it doesn't really make much difference. But the fact that it got up there and then dropped quickly, with it, That made me a bit nervous. But it's still trying to push higher, look. Oh, what's that we haven't done today? Reloaded. Got to get into the habit of doing that. I got another PA account coming live tomorrow. I wanted to have 2, at least. Then if I can get them up to a reasonable amount, I can start taking a couple of payments per month from them both, which will give me enough to be able to comfortably live on, and then obviously add to them, and then just continue to grow them. So we've got a break higher low. So that looks a bit closer this time around. That bar there didn't look as close to the EMA, but it clearly worked. I don't know about you guys. I just get nervous about going along that sort of into these highs, because as you know, it's pushed above and then dropped quickly. And then we got a big bearish bar, which tells me it could come back here. So when it comes back, it has a little bit of a pullback. If I go long there, it could trigger me and then come back down for another leg. So I tended to leave that alone. But I like the fact that we're retesting this top. Does make me think whether we might continue to push out of it. Whether I continue or start to push out of it, rather. Ooh. Could push out the top. If we push out the top, I'm going to get rid of this big channel at the moment. I had a feeling we would. Let's see. Okay, I'll consider that in at the moment, but I think it's a really strong market, this at the moment. Push up sideways with an upper angle, another strong push out. I think we're going to push out the top. In fact, I'm convinced we're going to. No, I think we've still got to keep it. So channel break, 3 pushes up to a new high. Right up to the top now. Perfect, that is. Absolutely perfect. It's touching beautifully, in all fairness. Touching lovely there, and just stunning there. And nicely at the bottom, right the way along there and there. Interesting. But it doesn't look like it's slowing down. It's still continuing to try and push up. That's 4 times now. If it doesn't get above there soon, it'll come back, I think. Hey Martin, how you doing, buddy? Late to the party, not by much, mate. To be honest with you, there's not been a lot to trade. Kind of wish I'd have taken that one sort of a couple of legs back, and it sort of confirmed this. But it has been sort of, it's slowed down a bit now. It's settled a bit, but it was just bouncing up and down. It went up, came down quick. So, I mean, we're an hour or so after the news, and maybe sort of 10 minutes after the open, and it was still bouncing around, but it seems to have slowed down now. Yeah, I was expecting that to break. I think we're going to push up strong. I do. So I'm just wondering whether this is probably doing me more harm than good. Yeah, okay, I like that. Much better. Sometimes if you focus too much on these bigger ones, you miss out some of this smaller stuff. So, leg, break leg, come back down a bit. I don't think it's going to, I think it's just going to push up. Come on, come back a bit. It's a really strong market, that, isn't it? Zero reasons to short this at the moment. You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. I mean, that's really strong, isn't it? So let's bring that up there anyway, just as a an area of interest. So, I mean, overshoots, as we know, could result in a reversal. But this market's really strong. So I don't think... I can't see it myself. Okay. Just not taking that. It's just too risky. We're only a few points from this other leg, so... I feel a bit half asleep today. My coffee machine just broke this morning. It's not heating up. We got one of those Nespresso creators that does the spits out the coffee and froths the milk at the same time. But it's just, I've been on the phone to them trying to fix it. The heating element's gone. It's going to take 3 weeks to send it away. I don't know about you guys, but I can't function with a flipping coffee. So I might have to go shopping. Same here. What, yours has gone as well, has it? I noticed yesterday something didn't seem right. The heating wasn't heating. It's just coming out. Just have you know? Yeah. I've just I've been looking at those slightly wider ones. That's probably not the best description, really, but I think inflation data is cool. Implying rate cuts in it. Yeah. Well, I think they've indicated that there's going to be no rate increases. So that usually means it's going to stay where it is, but likely come down in maybe the next few months. So fingers crossed. But something certainly feels positive, doesn't it? Something sounds positive. Why is stuff so much more expensive here than in the US? I mean, I've been looking at this morning. You know, that coffee machine there, that one there, the silver one, that's £500. That's about $600. I bet you guys can buy that for half that price over there. It's a flipping lot of money. £500. Yeah, it's about $600. That maybe a fraction over $600. Shocking, 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 shocking. Let's have a look. Okay, we've got a leg and a leg. We're getting close to the tops here. That's the exact one I had, and it broke. Did it really? Our other one, the Creatista Plus, the Sage. Well, I think you call it Breville over here, but it's Sage Creatista Plus. Was about £400. I think we've had it for about 6.5 years, but we do like our coffee. Well, my wife likes her alcohol. I like my coffee, but I like a cappuccino in the morning, and I'm one about half an hour before I trade. But I can clearly feel the difference not having, because we don't have any of the coffee, and we used to have the jarred stuff, but when we bought one of these, we just haven't bothered. So I'm going to have to maybe get online later and make Amazon some more money. Let's change this colour. The last thing you want it to do, we've got 2 MOTs for our cars coming up in the next week. That could cost something, so it's all bloody money, isn't it, before Christmas? Money, money, money. So I'm just going to yank this out of the way a minute. I mean, it's really strong, isn't it? Wow, when was the last time we were up around the 45s? Quite a while. have a look. Last time we were up here was about 2 months ago, month and a half ago. And I think, where was that? 15th of September. We get up to the 55. We get up to here. We're talking September, 2 months. So September, yeah. So we're going sideways back to this line now. We could hit that. I'm not a fan of waiting until we're nearly there to take a trade. So trouble is it's going up so strong, isn't it? What have we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. 26 points just in there in the last 30 minutes. It's got to have a correction at some point, isn't it? I don't know whether. No, I don't know. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Let's leave it there for now. Hopefully, this will all be in front of Mac, so hopefully, you could take it to there. I don't know. Hopefully, Mac might have a better picture of this. Yeah, that's my concern, an overshoot. See, sometimes an overshoot results in a reversal. Sometimes it just breaks out the other side, the sort of same distance, and then carries on. But it's a really strong market, isn't it? Well, let's see then. I mean, it was a matter of time. We had to have a bit of a pullback, didn't we? Hopefully, if we can get maybe a leg and a nice correction, then we may get some more. We may be able to get in somewhere. Yeah, so I've got another account coming live tomorrow. I wanted to have two. And since I've reduced this, things are just going brilliantly at the moment. I'll show you my equity curve. This is my trader sync. Let me just shove that over so you can see that without spoiling the picture. So things are going well at the moment. Out of, what is that, 20 something trades, out of 24 trades I've lost 4. Is that right? So I'm trading in and around about, my win rate is about 83 and a bit percent. But that's my equity curve there. So it's nice. It's going up really nice. Why does that not look? Let me make it a bit bigger. Yeah, that's it there. So it's going up lovely. I had that little bit of a couple of losing days, but then it continued. So it doesn't matter whether you have a losing day or a winning day. That's what's important. That shows you're profitable, and that's over the last month, that is. So it's working nice. So you can see me trades, but there's just 4 losses. But and I think if I remember rightly, my win percentage is around about. Sorry, my win average is around about 2.4 points per trade on average over the winning trade. So a little bit more, and will be 2.5. I wanted to try and get up to around about 1-to-1. Which I think in most cases is around about 2 3/4 points. ATR is low at the moment, so that's a good indication we could continue up. Small bars, continue on and up. So things are going well at the moment, but I just wanted one more PA. I didn't want to be greedy. I didn't want to try and take too much at once. If I build a couple up to maybe, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7,000. And then I can trade them every month, and hopefully I should be able to take $1,500 to $2,000 out of each of them a month, which should give me a wage. And then I can maybe then, when I get some money out of them, pick up another 3 more maybe, and then a month later another 3, and build them all up till I can take a wage from each of them every month. Okay, so let's see, a lot of cases will do that. Push up, make a new high, and then drop with this overshoot. I mean, it doesn't mean it'll definitely have an overshoot. It could just continue on up. You had a couple legs back, it just could keep pushing up. And then in which case, then maybe we would sort of swap that over or something. Oh, I don't know. But for the moment, but after that, I don't know, leg, I don't know. Excuse me. Okay, so there is a, I don't know, I'm not getting involved in here. You could call that high-low. It's too far for my opinion. High-low is really a couple of 3 bars away, maybe. But I couldn't go long this after that overshoot. I mean, it could continue on up, who knows, but after an overshoot, the last thing I want to be doing is going long. I mean, on the daily, this is the biggest move upwards we've had for a long time. Well, the size of the bar at the moment, certainly since the beginning of the year. And the day's only really just started going. So it could continue to get higher. How much is that Trader Sync run you? £26 a month. I get it for free. They contacted me about a couple of months ago and said, have a look at this, see what you think. If you like it, will you advertise it? And I said, if I like it, I will. You get contacted as a streamer all the time, bits of software. I mean, literally once a week, twice a week. But most of the stuff just useful and no good, no good for us. But obviously, that's I hadn't had one up to now. But trouble is, people have said to me, "What's your win rate?" I got no idea. So at least I've now got a visual. But I'm pretty sure if you use my code, you can get 50% off it if you take out the annually. And if you only need the Pro, which is the basic version, I think after the 50%, I think it's about $12 or $13 a month. But don't quote me. But you can download it for free for a week and have a look at it. If you don't think you're going to use it, don't buy it. But I've got a code there. Where is it? UKFT, all lowercase, 50% off an annual subscription. But that's off any package. But to be honest with you, what we do, we just need the basic package. But I'm pretty sure after the 50%, it's about $12.50. But download it for a week, try it. But, you know, see what you think. I got to say, it's a bit complicated to use, but I'm just maybe not very techie. But I think it's something, I think it's important to have. I hadn't really thought about anything up until now, up until a couple of months ago, and someone said to me, you know, what's your win rate? And I've got no idea. Yeah, have a play around with it. You get it for a week for nothing anyway, and then see what you think. If you think you use it, great. If you don't bother. So, are we continuing higher? I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. Excuse me. What I like about it is if you can import things in. So if I got my my thing in, if I click on my orders and right click and click export, and then select that bottom one and save that, my trades are saved then, and I can just import it in, import them in. I can just import it in as a file, and it comes in and with all the bits of information and stuff. So it's useful. You know, there are others out there. I think TradeZella is another one. There's probably a bunch of them, but I think TradeZella is a bit expensive. Okay, so leg. This is looking positive, I've got to say. I just can't get in at the moment because we got a break. We got a leg and a leg. We could just be retesting this underside, so I don't want to get in here. Or it could just rocket on up. I got no idea. There may be a bigger channel there. That's possible. In fact, I'm just going to pull this out of the way a minute, see if there is something bigger, just because these channels obviously change and adapt. But what I will say is that to me looks like a channel. We've had a break. Now we could just move up in another channel. Forget the smaller one, the other one. It might not make a difference. I mean, I'm tending to forget that at the moment. I am, in all fairness. Push up a little bit of sideways. We could start a larger one from maybe here. And we might end up doing something like that. So I don't think that really matters about the bigger one because of all this sort of push up and chop. You know, there could be. Let's just try it like that. See if that works anywhere. Yeah, I mean, it could be just like a spike in a channel. It's hard to say at the moment, or this might not matter. It might just go from here, but by the looks of things, that doesn't show any sign of stopping, although it's going up a little bit slower. But I would say it's probably that kind of works nice, and it works nice. So yeah, I'm going to just kill that colour a minute. And darken this. I think that looks pretty good to me. Looks like a leg up and a couple of legs back. So I kind of like that. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so we've had this leg down, we've had a couple of pushes up. Let's see what happens here. I mean, if we look on the daily, this daily bar, considering we're early in the day, has had a really strong move. So it could pull back a bit before it goes higher. But that's a fair old size bar, that is. Considering we've only sort of really been open 45 minutes officially anyway. So there's a leg down, possible leg here. Let's have a look. Let's see, I'm looking for a higher low from here. Because we could have a leg down, a couple of legs up and another leg down. We could come back to here, and that you just don't know at the moment. But it's not showing any signs of slowing down. Okay, May's a bit flat here, which is why I'm going to wait for a higher low, I think. In fact, I don't really need that on there, I think. You can use 8,000 tick chart. You will always find a bigger channel. Yeah, I use 10,000 sometimes. I've got it above me there. Trouble is sometimes it works on one, but not necessarily on another. See how nice that works there on a 10,000. And that goes, so right, so there's no sign of it slowing down anyway, so if you can get a higher low here, we're clearly working up anyway. See if we can get a higher low. It's frustrating really, it's just too dangerous to take that. Because we've had this leg down, we could have two pushes up, we could have a leg and a leg. Yeah, I think that fits okay actually, because we've got to touch it. I'm not too concerned. We've got to touch there. We've got to touch it. It's hard to say, isn't it? Trouble is, sometimes you focus these bigger ones and you miss the smaller stuff. Excuse me, just 1 second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. Let's get rid of that. So hard to say, really. I think we're a couple of ticks off that move, so I'll get rid of that. Trouble is, if it is a bigger channel, you really want it to come back here a bit, but after that, it's hard to trade this because it could make another leg back down. But it seems really strong, the market, doesn't it? It just keeps wanting to go and go and go. I don't know. I can't find anything I really like. Hopefully, Mac will post something soon, and maybe that might make a bit more sense. Strong is right up 90 points. Yeah. Trouble is, when you're expecting it to come down and maybe test these lows of this, it just seems to be going up more. Trouble is, guaranteed the second I get in there, it's going to come down like a flaming stone. It's typical. I'm just not a massive fan of this. I mean, the 10,000 tick chart is fitting lovely, but it often does. Trouble is constantly going into the highs there if you take a trade. So it'd be nice to see what Mac's got. It might be a bit too early for Mac, but let's have a look. Come on, Mac. Nothing yet. What about you guys? I'm getting hundreds of these package cons emails saying we've got a package. There's a package waiting for you. We've missed delivery of a package. Loads of them. Bloody cons. Okay, so I'm going to put that there where it originally was. In fact, let's just get rid of it for now. It's irrelevant, I think. Leg. I think at the moment we're working up here like this. Trouble is, if you put these bigger channels, a lot of times you're waiting to get to the bottom of the channel and you miss stuff. I'm just wondering whether we had this and then we're working. I don't know, it's just not slowing down, is it? Trouble is, if you're getting at the wrong place, you're buggered. Okay, I like that for now. This can change, you know. It's gone up quite shallow. It seems to be going up steeper, so I like that. I'm happy with that. Touching, touch. Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay, so where could we go? We're up into new territory now. We haven't been up here for quite a while. Since early October. So, nothing tradable there. There wasn't a higher low there. It's hard to take that one because there's not much room to the highs. Nothing there. That higher low might not have been too bad, but you just, at the time, we were looking like we were getting close to the top, so I left it. So at least it's moving though. I mean, yesterday was horrible. We just had it was up, chop. But at least we're getting some movement. No resistance till 45.60. So it could really just keep on going up, couldn't it? 60. What is that? 50 points, 48 points. That's nothing. We could do that before lunchtime. The trouble is, you just can't jump in here. You know, if you do nothing, it just rockets up. So the second you get in, it stitches you up. Daily. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, see, this is the daily. That's all I can go back. But we had that big strong push. It does look like a bull flag, doesn't it? An extra special one, but there's no. It's not holding back. That is it. Oh, sorry. That's the 10,000 tick chart. My mistake. Yeah, let's have a look. Our next real bit of resistance. In fact, we are in a little bit now, actually. But next, yeah, just before 60. Might actually be a little bit earlier, we'll see. If I just bring the daily in quickly. So, I mean, there is a possibility. We've been in some, which is why. Well, no, it's just continuing up. I'd say there, maybe. Certainly there. Definitely there. So, yeah, it's around this 60 level, and then we're into new territory once we get above that. But I was expecting a bit of a pullback here, but it just doesn't seem to be slowing down. Trouble is, it's frustrating sometimes to sit and watch all this go by without getting a trade, but the guaranteed time, guarantee you, the second you lose your patience and you think, I don't want this to move without me and I want to get hold of it, it stitches you up. It really does. The amount of times I've seen Mac draw a massive uptrend and can't find one trade at all, plenty of times. So, yeah, you just got to let that go. I mean, going back a year or so, I'd see that up and I'd just jump in somewhere and try to think, I know it's going up, but if you haven't got a setup, you really can't do it because the market's very clever at weeding out weak positions. I know sometimes you see this and just want to get a piece of it. You know, if you can get in somewhere here and hold for, 10 points or whatever, you can make a big difference to your pot, but it's just, sorry about that, it's just not worth it. I've just given up trying. I don't do anymore. I used to jump in quite a lot, think, it looks like we're going up, I'll just buy, but I've just given up. Excuse me, just a second. Okay. Yeah, so big bullish bar there. Sideways bullish bar. Is that going to push up? Possibly. Too risky though, big bar, too far from the EMA. It is there, but we're right. We're going into well, new territory for a while. Got to remove the foam. Yeah, you have. And I think the way you get rid of it, or part of the way, is just to have loads of it. The more you do it, the more you fail. Sooner or later, your brain just says it's just not worth it, and you just start to think. But I can't tell you how many times I've just jumped in thinking we look like we're moving up. But it's how you learn, really. It is, really. Your brain's initially, not as a trader, isn't designed to be very good at trading. We get sort of quite sentimental and we don't like to lose things if something, see what I mean? It's just rocketing up. We don't like to lose things. We don't like to let go of things. I'd rather miss a trade. Absolutely. That's that's what I think. There was a time where I didn't. There was a time where I just wanted to just get in and buy, but after a while you realise, and it is a form of, a guy once told me it's a form of forging that brain to work like a trader. And it is. It's almost like you're getting a rough piece of steel and you're spending a week shaping it, chipping away. Look how strong that is. Look, I didn't think it was worth going along there, but look how strong that's pushing up. But yeah, sometimes you just got to let it go. But it is like a form of forging. I thought that was a good word for it because it's, sort of what it is. It is a ball ache sometimes to see that and not have no trade. But what can you do? I mean, if you got in a bit earlier down here, crikey. But I mean, I always thought, it's so much easier finding a trend and trading a trend, but sometimes it isn't. The good thing about trading a range is when it comes off the top and starts to come down, that's where you can get your second entries and failures, and then it comes down to the bottom and starts to push off. Same again, you can get your second entries and failures. But when it does this, you've really got to wait for it to sort of, make a certain setup and come back. Sometimes it seems easy to trade this, but often you see this, this big move. What is it? 5, I don't know, 5, even just for me, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 points. That's after that big shoot up, and nothing really. Just too congested here. Nothing there. I'm not sure about that one. I think it's risky doing that because, you know, it could trigger and come down. It's under the EMA. EMA's facing down, but apart from that, there's nothing else I can really see. You know, so hopefully if we can get a break here, a couple of legs back, that might be an option. But if I can get 2 points a day, I'm more than happy with that. Trends are extremely hard to trust. Yeah, and not just that, you wait for them to come down here and sometimes they decide to break, and they always seem to break when you decide to get into a trade. So unless it's a real beautiful second entry long, I always wait for the higher low now, because if there's a higher low, it gives the trap chance. You know, it gives it chance to trap you. So I let it go. So if it does trap me, then I've stayed out of the trade. If it doesn't, and it starts to move up with a higher low, then you know it's pretty, you know, it's a lot more solid. Excuse me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Daughter's just come home from school. I don't know who's more stressed about the coffee machine, me or her. How am I going to make an hot chocolate? How am I going to live without hot chocolate? I just offered to buy her a new Christmas present worth £500. I said, if you want a £500 Christmas present as a coffee machine, you're welcome to. I got to say, I feel definitely tireder at the moment without coffee. Okay, so leg up, leg. If we can get 2 legs down here, then I may get involved there. 1 leg, 2 leg. So we're clearly working up here anyway. I expect to get quite a bit further up. Got a leg up. There's still scope to get up. So let's have a look. But same again. If it's not closer to the EMA, I ain't taking it. Like that one there, it just wasn't close enough for me. I much prefer it to come down. And the fact that it worked is by the by, really. But this is such a strong market. I don't think it's going to come back. The trouble is, the one time you decide to go, all right, I'll have a go here, it triggers you and comes down, and we're finding a bit of resistance there. So I say that it might not make a damn bit of difference, but for me, it's got to be a leg and a leg. But you've just got to let this go. Yeah, I did come back on a stream last night for about 30 minutes. I was just bored, so I opened up a stream. There wasn't many in, maybe 15 or 20. I might do the same later. We've got a family, we've got a visitor coming round at about 4:15 in about half an hour, so I may, after tea, come back and stream for a bit. I prefer to stream, it just makes me a little bit more accountable. So I might just drop a stream on later and trade for another hour. Is Replicanto going to have a thought? Yes, it is actually. I forgot to say I got an email yesterday. It is. Where's my email? Let me have a look. Yes, Flowbot's Black Friday. Yes. When does it start? It's valid from the 20th and expires on the 24th. Yeah, I'll show you the email. So I'd be. There we go. Yeah. Since you're on affiliate, we have created an exclusive coupon especially for me. Lovely, lovely. So yeah, it'll be valid from the 20th and expire at just before midnight on the 24th. So 40% off. I believe it's gone up to 200 now. It did, I think, in September. So what does that take it down to? It's 40% off, isn't it? So that's pretty cheap. Takes down about 120, something like that, doesn't it? So yeah. So I will put that on there. It starts on the 20th, so I'll put that on my thing later with the code, but UKFT 40 black. So I'll type that on the screen tomorrow so you can have a look at it tomorrow. I haven't forgot. I just knew it wasn't starting until the 20th, so yeah, it's 40% off, isn't it? So it's pretty good. Excuse me a minute, my dog's going to start to bark, I think. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, leg. Let's see what happens here. So leg. Just got to be a bit careful. I'm not a fan of that. And that's what I didn't want. Do they do that often? First time I've known of it. There's always 20% off it, which takes it down to about 160. But this is the first time they've had the 40% off, but yeah, it's not bad. It takes it down to see that about 120, something like that. 40%, 60. Yeah, it takes down $120. That's pretty good, actually. It's about $30 cheaper than Apex is, and in my opinion, it's much better. I've used it now for about 6 months, and I just haven't had a problem with it at all. It pretty much works flawlessly. Is it one-time fee? Yes, it is, mate, yeah. One-time fee, yeah. And I think it's with the... I think that's the price for one machine. If you want it on multiple machines, it's a little bit more, but yeah, I think most of the time it's on the one machine. So, leg. It is frustrating to see that, really, because there's clearly 2 legs back, but that's your bar, which is naff, and then all of a sudden it pushes up. Do you want to go long there into that? You can't do it. It might be one of these days today. Rhythmic has a built-in trade copy, I believe, and it's free. I don't know, mate. I've not heard of it. I've not heard of it, but what I will say is these are a software company and you get regular updates. So I've not heard of a free one in Rhythmic. So I can't comment on that. I've had the Apex one. I tried the Apex one. In my opinion, I didn't get on with it. I had problems and problems. But from what I'm aware, once you start to trade multiple accounts, the more accounts you trade, the quicker your computer needs to be. And I got that off that Vince who withdrew that $800,000. That's one thing he was advising. He noticed his computer struggled at the time and he upgraded it and it was fine. So once you get above so many, I don't know how many, maybe 10 or so, I'm sure someone said about 10. Once you get above 10, you need a pretty quick machine to do it. Otherwise, you get lots of, missed triggers and stuff. But I don't know. You may have to execute on Rhythmic to use theirs. Yeah, you may have to, because Rhythmic is a trading platform in itself. So I've not heard of that, to be honest with you. I've been using Apex's one, and it's been working fine for almost 2 years. Yeah, I've heard people say that as well. I didn't get on with it, and I noticed when I went to Replicanto. But what I will say is that Vince, who withdrew that $800,000, he uses it, or used to, certainly. So, if you've got it and you've not had a problem with it, don't, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. It's been one of those days today, so we've got a leg up and another leg up, but that's frustrating to see two nice legs and then nothing there and all of a sudden push up, but then with a stem. But yeah, just in case anybody didn't remember earlier, I am finishing early today. We've got someone coming around in about 30 minutes. So I'll probably stream again later. I don't like missing a day, but I'm going to miss an hour and a half. So probably around about, say, 6:30 time. 6:30, which is probably 1:30 Eastern time. I'll probably come back and just open up another stream, and then just carry on for another hour or so. Does this Vincent have a channel? No, he doesn't, mate. He was on one of Apex videos. He's had the biggest payout in one lump sum, $800,000. But he described himself as the king of resets. So, just because he's earning a stack load of money now doesn't mean he hasn't had his challenges. He said he blew many accounts. But yeah, one of the things I heard him mention was he had to upgrade his computer once he started getting up to multiple accounts. But if you look on some of the Apex channels, on the Apex YouTube channel, where they interview some traders, anybody who's had a payout can make a little video. Or you can, put your name down to be interviewed once you've had a payout. I've declined it in the past, but not for any reason specifically. But yeah, there are lots of interviews in there of people. Vince, his name is, Vince. So I can find him. $800,000. The biggest Apex payout, but he had $1 million over a period of time. But and funnily enough, he had $300,000 accounts, but he said he only ever traded between 1 and 3 contracts. So it just goes to show you don't need to have huge amounts to make good money. Where is it? Just trying to find Apex's account. There it is. Let me just. I
used to mark it in a lot.
You can hear in there, can't you? Yeah.
And Sniper, I set a lot of limit orders on Sniper.
800,000. Yeah, he's had over $1 million. What's the answer? Does he have a YouTube? No, he doesn't. Sorry. But he was just interviewed by I forget his name now, but
sometimes it was just instantaneous.
That's it there. So it's just under Apex's own channel, Apex Trader Funding, and his name's Vince.
In a matter of minutes, and I was done for the day.
So yeah, he's quite a switched on guy.
It'd be 9:30 in the
But yeah, he
morning
said he's
Central
had
Time.
his fair share of troubles. He called himself the king of reset. So this is just going and going and going, isn't it? Every time we have a break, we continue up. Break, continue up. Gonna wait for 2 legs. Do you know how he trades PA? Yeah, he's got 20 PA accounts. But he trades Apex's sniper system. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All sort of strategies will work. But he said he intended. Well, you're gonna have to watch it anyway. But he did say intended on getting 20 $300,000 accounts and trading max contracts. But he doesn't. He trades between 1 and 3 contracts. So just because he's got another reason, in my opinion, to not go for the $300,000 accounts, which are so hard to pass because you've got to get $20,000. I think the $50,000 ones are ample. But he only trades between 1 and 3 contracts. But yeah, he's been through it. He's been through it all, just the same as everybody else. Okay, so that's just if that breaks above, it's a first entry. We're going to have 2 legs, really. It's very easy to come back here and not have 2 legs and just to jump in and get stopped out. Who do you use? Boris, how you doing, Boris? I use Apex as well, exactly the same as Vince does. Streaming, I mean what? Streaming. Who do you use streaming? I'm not sure what you mean. What do I use to stream? Or you on about what prop firm I use? Boris. Yeah. Well, they did say you haven't put $800,000 into it, have you? Anyone? No, he hasn't. No. If you put $800,000 into learning to trade, something's wrong somewhere, isn't it? Okay, so tempting to take a trade like that, but to be honest with it, it could trigger you and have a break. You just don't know. So you've got to wait for a second entry or a higher low, but it's working in there as far as I'm concerned. We've got a leg up, pull back, couple of more bounces, and another leg up. So I would certainly envisage just getting up to that level. So there is some more space available if we can get a decent setup. Okay, so that's 1 leg. It is very tempting to take something like that, and in a market like this, a lot of times it will just go. But 1, it's slightly off this bottom, and 2, there is some resistance there, so it may bounce, trigger, come back down, or it's, who knows, it could push off, but it's a could. You can clearly see some resistance there, so I'm leaving that. If we can get another break above it and come down again, then that may interest me, but apart from that, I can't take it. So I'm going to be finishing in about 10 minutes, but I will pop back later, just for an hour. I would say around about 1:30 Eastern time, something like that. I'll just knock up a stream. But as I say, we've got a visitor, so I'm going to miss an hour and a half. So I just wanted to do another hour and a half later and keep me timing. So where could this come to? That's working nice in there. There is still a possibility of something bigger. It's what works flawlessly. Are you on about what do I stream with? If you mean what do I stream with, I use OBS. If that's what you mean. OBS. No, I'm not a fan of that now. I think we're past that. It's going up in a different level. Yeah, I use OBS, but I do, if that's what you mean. Okay, leg. See what happens here. I never take that first one. I always wait for the higher low. I know sometimes you miss a trade, but you never know whether we're going to trigger it and have a break. Certainly could be due for a break. But I mean, even OBS doesn't work flawlessly. Picture's not fantastic. There's two main you stream with, Streamlabs and OBS. OBS is the better one in my opinion, but it's alright, printer's just died for no reason. I wish the picture would be a little bit better in all fairness. It's not. I don't know what Mac uses, but his picture's a lot better than mine. Sorry about the noise in the background. I think my wife just sent something for print. 10-11 area of interest for me. Yeah. Leg in a leg. I wonder, you know, whether it may be like a spike in a channel, something like that. It's possible, isn't it? Oh dear me, I'm not sure about that. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put that line up there as that measured move. I just want it out of the way. So leg, new high. I'm a bit unsure about that. Let me see what we got from Mac. We should have something by now. Yes, excellent. Seller's been taken over. Yeah, it's such a strong market though. I can see it just continuing up. I really can. But obviously, you can wait for a setup. So push up, break new high, two legs, so we can get a higher low here. Let's see what Mac's got for us. Okay. Okay, so Mac has got. Let's get rid of that. Where we had initially. So Mac has got that. Okay, he's dragged it up to there. No, he hasn't, has he? Let's have a look. Okay. Mac's got that. No. Oh. Something like that. Mac's got, yeah, he's got that. That's a bit of an overshoot, isn't it? Oh, dear me. Yeah, Max looks weird, doesn't it? There's Max there. So he's gone right from these bottoms, including that, but obviously we're a little bit further on. So leg, push up again. It's just not slowing down, but it's risky in my opinion here because yeah, I'm just losing track of this channel. In all honesty, I think I don't know. I'm not that. I can't find something that I like. Couldn't pass on the second entry long. Yeah. Just not sure about anything here. I think that bigger channel is out of the picture at the moment. This looks much better to me. Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. It's just but yeah, it is 2 legs down. Trouble is it's finding support or resistance there. So okay, I'm gonna have to knock it on the head. We got some visits coming around in about 10 minutes. Actually, I like that. Okay, well, that I like. I think I've just found something I like. Leg. I want to see a higher low here. Leg. That isn't, unfortunately. But I like the channel. It's very strong. Okay, excuse me, just for 2 minutes. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay, it looks like we're going to continue on up, I think. Let's see if we can get a higher low here. Maybe trap some shorts here. It's be interesting. Let's see what happens.
Order submitted.
I don't like the way that's bouncing around.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of resistance there. I don't like the way that's bouncing around. It may trigger me and come down. Could have a leg and then another leg. That's possible. I think we could get a decent break here. Yeah, it is. The trouble is, I might come back here in an hour and it may be up here. You know what I mean? And you're thinking, why the hell didn't I get in? So yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You got to pull the trigger at some point. But what I will say, there's clearly some resistance there. So we could have a leg and a leg. That's a possibility. Or it could just rocket. We could have a leg, a little bit of size, another leg. But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You may have thought buying the top here, do you know what I mean? But then look, so it's just one of those things. Okay, I kind of like that higher low, but I wouldn't want to get in there. I'd want to get in there, so that makes that risk even bigger. So if I have my stop below there and I get in there, it's actually not a massive risk. ATR is very low at the moment, see, so it makes trades a little bit. Sorry, I was driving, hence the gibberish. It's all right, mate, don't worry. That's most of my day, gibberish. So yeah, I'm just a bit gonna be a little bit careful here. It's probably going to continue up if it gets above that. Yeah, it would, but it's yeah, I just don't like the way it goes up, down, a bit wicky. It can be a little bit unpredictable. Okay, so I'm going to knock it on the head for now. As I say, we've got a visitor come in the next 10 minutes. So I will pop back on the stream at around about 6 or 6:30 UK time. So that's around about 1 to 1:30 Eastern time. Yeah, you too, bud. So I don't like to miss an hour and a half, see. But I'd say if we can get above all this, we're probably going to continue up, but you just don't know, do you? The fact that it's going sideways is making me a little bit nervous. And the fact that that's triggered is coming down. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. Be interesting to see, but I'm going to put that there. So I know, in fact, let's put it there so I know where we left it. In fact, that really looks like it's going up, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm going to take that. I think it's worth it. Once we get above these, it looks like a leg up. Yeah, I'm just going to take this quick trade. It's not a huge risk. If we can get above here, we're still working up this. It's such a strong market, isn't it? 2.5 point risk. I'm beginning to regret this. The way it's fluttering. We'll see. If we can get above there, I think we'll be okay. So there's... just going to go for a point here, I think. In fact, I don't like this straight away.
Target filled.
What did I get out for? 2 ticks. Bloody hell. I don't like the way it started coming back. What's the name of the risk? What's the name of the risk to right there? I Hesse, I'm not sure what you meant there. You on about the trade? I was going for the higher low there. That's what you mean. You chickened out. Yeah, I did. Well, I chickened out. Oh, well. It's probably going to... do you know what it is? We're extremely bullish. We've had 2 perfect legs back and a push up and a higher low. There's going to be some stops there. You took it as a higher low as well. You know, sometimes, I remember Max saying that, sometimes when you think the market just can't go any higher, it continues on up and blows your mind. So I kind of didn't want to miss out on a trade. Win is a win. $25. That'll pay. That'll get me some coffee for my new coffee machine. But what I like about it is we had 2 legs back, 3 sort of candles there, and it pushed up. It was a high low. There may have been some trap there, and it clearly worked. But you know, when it goes up and comes back down, and I'm thinking, am I kidding myself here? But oh well, a win's a win. I find it embarrassing writing a quarter of a tick, a quarter of a point. I'm just thinking, what's less embarrassing, writing 2 ticks or half a point? I think half a point sounds a bit better. So, I mean, it clearly worked for plenty, didn't it? I usually like going for 3, so it clearly did that, but oh well, I'm a bit of a coward. You know, when you get in and I'm thinking, am I being a bit impatient here? Because it's clearly finding resistance, and my concern is we have a leg down, but you know, in the end, I thought this is such a strong bull market, and sometimes I miss these areas, and look at that now. So all of a sudden now it's looking like quite a good trade, but... what I will say is I don't like that support right the way along there. But yeah, win's a win anyway. Yeah, it's only half a point, but I don't know. It's one of those things. But yeah, I mean, it clearly worked. But it's so bullish, isn't it? We've had 2 legs back, new high, perfect measured leg back, 3 bars there which have held on that line, and then a push up. So I liked it. So it was 6 tick signal bar. Yeah, it was pretty small, wasn't it? Yeah, see a tick below. Yeah, it's about 2 points. So it's okay. I think it's okay. Well, it clearly reacted right, isn't it? We push up. It was a high low in it, and it did what it was supposed to. And to the same place you did. Took 2 trades. I just carried it out. The trouble is, ordinarily, I wouldn't take that because of this resistance. And you just don't know if we're going to have a leg back and a leg back. And when I took it, I thought, am I being a little bit careless here? Now, I've got no problem with making a mistake and taking a trade if I think it's a valid trade. We're clearly in a bullish market at the moment. It's rocketing up, really. The ATR's small. I remember Max saying when the ATR's small and markets are just continuing to grind up, every time it comes back to the trend channel, the EMA, you can more or less take a trade. So that's what got me to get in it. But then obviously I just thought, oh, I still got this in my mind. But the trade obviously clearly worked, and by the time I get back, I'm pretty sure it'll push up another 20 points just to rub my nose in it. But it's one of those things, and it's sometimes you lose your bottle. But I'd rather be a little bit cautious. I like the fact that I'm thinking cautious at the moment, because obviously in the past I've, sort of been more careless, but, like I say, it's a win. So I'm going to knock it on the head now, and I'll pop back for an hour and stream later, because I'm missing an hour and a half, and who knows where it's going to be by then. So I appreciate your comments. If you're around later, I'll have a chat with you all later. So have a great day, take it easy, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now. You all right, Aya?